What can happen tomorrow, and can they put you to prison, or what is your situation right now?
Hi, can anyone hear me right now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so thank you for the invitation, and it's really my honor and pleasure to share my idea to the Cinema for Peace, especially now the situation in Hong Kong is really worse, and less than 24 hours later, I already need to attend another court hearing. So I hope to give a brief introduction of what's happening related to my court case and how's my analysis on the upcoming future of the resistance in Hong Kong. My court case will be mentioned at the magistrate court on tomorrow 2:30 p.m. of Hong Kong time, which means it's around 20 hours later. And it's the day before China's decision to approve the arrest of 12 young activists, and it's National Day. And I'm charged with participating in an unauthorized assembly on last October. And I've violated the draconian anti-mask law, which was later ruled unconstitutional by local courts. And there is a high chance that I will be sentenced to jail again, especially tomorrow court mention is the third court cases that I need to face since last summer protest. If I am convicted, I can face up to a maximum of 5 years in jail for unauthorized assembly and 1 year for wearing a mask. However, compared to 12 Hong Kong youth who have no access to lawyers, no access to medication, and chance they are being tortured inside the black box judicial system of China with more backwards draconian law, I am still fortunate. And my arrest undoubtedly might be kind of political prosecution. It's clearly designed to intimidate the people of Hong Kong ahead of the October 1st Beijing's National Day. If my bail is to be denied, I sincerely hope that the world will still keep a close watch and divert the attention to the 12 young activists and the development of Hong Kong protests, and pass our devotion and also do as much as you can to stand with Hong Kongers. And here is the brief situation of my court case, and it's also the third court case and I need to face. And with the upcoming Chinese National Day, Beijing might use all the tactics to silence the voice of dissidents. But the threats could not defeat us, make us even stronger determination, and that's the reason why I still continue the fight.
Joshua, we have here with us, we are here at the German Bundestag, the Reichstag, the German Parliament. We have here the human rights speakers of the CDU party by Zoom, from the SPD party, from the Green Party. We have the foreign policy speaker of the FDP, Bijan, here with us, who is hosting us. What can Germany do? What kind of support would you be hoping for by Germany, who's probably the biggest trade partner of China? There is some leverage. What could Germany do, and what are you telling our parliamentarians who are sitting here with us right now?
Supporting Hong Kong should not be the matter of left or right. It's the matter of right or wrong. And it's time to aware that there's no free lunch in the global community. When Beijing take advantage through the international community, especially show no respect on liberal value and international order. And it's time the European Union and Germany must realize that they can't tolerate this kind of hardline crackdown, not only in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Xinjiang, Tibet, or mainland China, but also in European countries. No matter for the 5G Huawei incident or discussion, or the Belt and Road Initiative, all we aware is China continue to export its economic influence, and also this kind of wolf warrior diplomacy should not be the way out. No matter I aware of activists from Hong Kong launched the petition in the German Parliament website and hope to receive more than 50,000 signature in the upcoming month, or how Hong Kongers around the world still hope people could aware the crackdown from President Xi. I think it's still the time really matter to put Hong Kong under the global spotlight. And if there's any dialogue or negotiation, business interests should not override the principle of human rights. Especially, I think the wolf warrior diplomacy or the economic influence is not only about what's happening in Hong Kong, no matter about those state-owned enterprise, just like the 5G technology issue, or how the NBA censorship in US or etc. How the Western world or the free world is still being affected. I think that's really the situation. And that's also the reason why some of the scholars claim that Hong Kong is the new East Berlin in the new Cold War.
This is why the event today also has the title, Ich bin ein HongKonger, obviously in conjunction with JF Kennedy coming to Berlin and saying all free world or people of the free world are actually Berliners. Ich bin ein Berliner, when actually the freedom had to be protected in West Berlin. That's how we feel with Hong Kong. And we try to give support. Now we have from the Green Party a representative here from FDP, and to my right, Michael Brandt from CDU. And I would like to give you an opportunity to raise a question or to make a statement as long as Joshua is with us. He's not going to be with us for long, but I would like to give you the opportunity.
Yeah,
so, Mr. Brandt, can you maybe say, you're a member of the CDU, of the government party. What can you imagine how to protect Joshua and the people of Hong Kong?
First, I want to ask you something, Joshua. So I want to say a big respect for that what you are doing the last months and years. And I wish you all the best tomorrow. So we met us in Berlin here in the Bundestag. So I want to ask you how much power the movement has already, and will the people intimidated? So, because that's also, I think, very important that the movement goes on.
I'm still optimistic with the future. Even the scale of the protests because of the outbreak of the COVID-19 and the mass arrest and prosecution, the scale is different with what happened during the summer of 2019. But no matter on 1st of July, we have 100,000 Hong Kongers took to the street on the same day. And later on, on the mid of July, we have Hong Kongers keep on the momentum. More than 600,000 people come out to vote. And even during August and September, with the outbreak of the COVID-19, that the virus export from mainland China to the world, I still experience and realize how we still keep on the momentum and keep up the strengthen the civil society development. And I would say that even sometimes it might be lots of difficulties, but we still keep on to have our resistance and hope to let the world to know that we will not kowtow and defeated under the national security law, the draconian law that violate the freedom that all we cherish.
Bijan and Margarete, would you like to add a comment or raise a question for your Joshua?
Okay. Joshua, it's great to see you. I have only one question. What do you think about sanctions? Not sanctions against the whole country, but sanctions against special person, for example, leaders or members of the Communist Party.
Even national security law is implemented, and any activists in Hong Kong that live in this city might not be able to openly or directly call on sanction. I think still lots of the world leaders or scholar or think tank or the global community are aware on the sanction imposed by US towards the government officials in Hong Kong and China. And after US imposed sanction, I think it's also the time that people will pay attention to what will be the next step for the European Union. Because in the previous day, always when we talk about foreign policy, European Union might wish to differentiate itself compared to the foreign policy of United States, especially under the new administration since a few years ago. But when we realize that how China is not the one only having kind of cooperation, but also might be the competitor, and even the competitor that show no respect on international order or liberal value, how would be possible for European Union or leaders in Europe to take action or to hold the accountability of China? I think that's the direction, because China is the one that show no respect on it at all. And with such, with the previous experience, always emphasize on dialogue, negotiation, and hope to through conversation to solve the conflict. I would say that if it's really effective, China will stop it with warrior diplomacy. Unfortunately, it still continues, which means that if the world wish to hold the China's accountability, they need to think about how to figure out different kind of new method, instrument to send a clear signal to President Xi Jinping. Now is not the way out if they continue to crack down to Hong Kong.
Margarete, the Green Party has been always very vocal about human rights, like other parties too, obviously, but you've been very vocal. And would you please
Thank you so much. And hello, Joshua. I remember very well our meeting last November in the Bundestag. And I must say, I'm full of admire for your braveness and being today with us and tomorrow have your trial. So I have a very concrete question. What do you think, would it be helpful if someone from the General Consulate of Germany in Hong Kong will come to the court to monitoring your trial in these days? Do you think that would be helpful for you?
I strongly support this idea, and I think it's also the responsibility and the duty of the consulate send out the representative to pay attention to those court hearing that related to political prosecution. And I would say that time is running out for Hong Kong already. At the same time, time is also running out for my personal safety. I remember last September, I still obtained the opportunity to travel to Berlin to the Bundestag to meet with politicians, meet with MPs, and etc. But right now, with 3 court cases and the certain court bail restriction, I am not allowed to travel abroad. And it seems that the day for them to detain me, lock me up in prison again, is just a matter of timing. But I wish if could send any consulate to pay attention to what happened in the trial or the court case in Hong Kong courts. At the same time, I think how 12 Hong Kong activists being detained in Shenzhen, they should also deserve more of the world attention. So how could the world to stand with Hong Kong? I think it's really, now is the critical time.
Hey, what can you recommend to Joshua if the terrible thing happens that he has to go to prison tomorrow? And in the other case, if he doesn't have to go, would you advise him to stay in Hong Kong or to come for asylum in another country, or we could help to create a second home in Berlin?
Hi， 你好，我是魏魏。我很高兴有机会在这里跟你说2句话。首先呢，我们的电影关于香港的电影已经完成了，我会在全世界的范围内，全力的推这个电影，让世界上更多的人看到这个电影的内容。你是一个，虽然你很年轻啊，但是我们都很佩服你的勇气。当然，只是勇气是不够的，你的思考是很清晰的。你说的这些话，实际上欧洲人如果能够听懂1/10的话，我相信他们的政策就不会像今天这么陈腐啊，这也是我一直在对他们批评的地方，因为这种民主或者是说它是一个斗争，它不是一个可以完全完成的一个事情。实际上在欧洲或者在美国，我们不能对他们有太大的幻想。当然，他们的结构和他们的生活方式和他们的理念，使他们不得不维护一些原则，但是这些原则在很大的程度上都已经被放弃了。所以呢，要有一个长期努力的一个准备。你有可能进监狱，你也不是第一次进监狱了。所以说你也知道在中国进监狱可能在香港进监狱可能比在中国要好很多。你很年轻，所以说我希望你悠着点儿，北京话叫悠着点儿，就是说不要把自己的力气耗尽了，因为这个路还比较长。很高兴见到你，我用中文跟你说的比较痛快一点啊。好，我现在跟他们说一下 I just told him how much I respect him. And he's so young, and he started his fight when he was 14. He has a very strong belief system. I don't think Communist Party can crush him, his spirit, and he's very intelligent. I also told him if the West government can understand what he's saying, even just 10% will not behave like today. I think German has behaved shamefully when they're dealing with Hong Kong or Uyghur or Tibet or all those issues. I think it's quite shameful. And but of course, it's understanding. There's no pure ideology. It's really for Germans its own benefit, and but still you have to have a long vision about what Germany is about, what the West establishment is about. Are you really ready for China? This is quite a irrational and unpredictable partner you have. And I think clearly to have partners like this will bring much bigger disaster in the future time.
谢谢. And you have our promise also from Cinema for Peace. We tried to help Ai Weiwei when he was in prison, and we had worldwide action. We helped other people who are defending our democracy, our values, and all over the world. So it's not just about helping somebody in Hong Kong and China. It's our values which we protect. And we also helped Navalny recently. And we're going to help you as much as possible, and whatever is going to be needed, we're going to be there for you. And thank you for joining us. And we wish you all the best for the court case tomorrow.
Brief
Thank you.
sum up. Yeah. If I need to choose to pick one of the most significant message for people who live in Germany, I would say that instead of expecting Germany take the same way to deal with China as how United States did, I think it's still the time, it's really matter that Germany must realize that if they need to hold China's accountability, only rely on conversation and dialogue to have kind of compromise during the negotiation must not be the way out. And if Germany hopes to hold China's accountability under its wolf warrior diplomacy, Germany might play a more active role no matter in the global community or in the European Union or in the European Parliament to continue express the importance of the universal value. And if asked what is the concrete action that could be taken immediately, I would say that apart from sending representatives from the consulate to attend my court hearing, I think is there any possibility to send out the consulate representative to visit the 12 Hong Kong youth detainees in Shenzhen in mainland China? They deserve more and more global spotlight, especially now they were secret detained under torture. And here is my sum up. Thank you.
Okay.